Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Michael, I'm with Thirdstone Properties. In this video I'm going to show you how you can analyze a property using tools available to anyone, not just real estate agents. So I'll just dive right in. The first thing I think is useful, and you can use whatever tool you prefer, whether Redfin, whatever, but I just got Zillow popped up and I picked a property we're just going to kind of analyze. So I'm just going to kind of pick on this house here for this video. And zoom out of the area here. So first thing I do, so we identified a property we're possibly interested in. The first thing we're going to try to do is we're going to try to see comps for it. So I got this pulled up right here, and here's where it is on the map. So I'm first going to find this on the map. We're going to go over here. We're going to check sold, apply. We're going to try to match up best we can. This is a 3-2, so we want to pick 3, use exact, 2 plus bedroom. And then we're going to go to this more button here. And then down here, sold in last. Always pick 6 months, but you can change this to whatever you want. I think 6 months is a good reflection. So I just activated that. So we're going to zoom in. This is our area. This is where this house is. So first we're just going to kind of look around. We're going to make sure it's really valued at about around 350. And of course, there's always these estimates here. These estimates, if there's a lot of activity in the area, they're usually pretty active. They're usually pretty accurate. But if it's in like a certain area where it can kind of fluctuate a lot and it changes really quick, or there's not a lot of activity, that's not always super accurate. You can always see this is from my experience, not always very accurate either, but it's always lower than what it would really be. But you can see the rent estimate here somewhere. I can't seem to find it now. But anyways, they typically have a rent estimate on there too. Again, that's not always 100% accurate, but again, if there's a lot of activity, it tends to be fairly good. Here it is. Okay, rent estimate. So this says rent estimate $2,169 for rentals. That's probably pretty accurate, just because I'm familiar with the area. But anyway, so we're honed into our area. You can also draw in these areas too. So like if you really want to just stick to your area, you can do that and hit apply. We're just going to leave it open now. And do keep in mind some of these, like this says 250, this is 305, 282. That's not always accurate. So you want to click on it. And here's what it really is. So this is really pending at 342. So that's a really good example where we're at. This house is pending already too, but we're just using this as an example. But at 355, it's probably making sense so far. We got one here that actually sold for almost 400K, but it's got a pool, so keep that in mind. But if you're adjusting down appropriately, that pretty much gets us set at 355. And keep in mind when you're looking at comps of these areas, you want to understand the area a little bit. So a good example of this, like San Jose Boulevard, once you cross this way into the water, like prices pretty much double. So just kind of keep that in mind. Like a 3.2 over here, it's like, oh, this is for rent. I got enough. Okay. But anyways, you're going to see a lot more $400,000, $500,000 houses over here, opposed to like 350 right here. So just make sure you understand the area you're looking in. So just based on this, really quick, I see plenty of houses that have sold well over 350 in this area. So I know we're probably pretty good to go here. And then you can use Zillow to check rental listings as well. So I already got it zoomed in here. Already checked my boxes. I checked for rent, 3.2s, and I put single family only. And this is only going to show you what's actually on the market at the moment. So do keep that in mind. So we're looking, our rent estimate was like $2,160, I think. So we're pretty much seeing just about everything between 2K up to 2,300. This one's up to 2,700. That's a 4 bedroom. 2,500. Yeah. So just quickly looking at this, I think we're pretty good to go at the 2K mark, using it as our base. And keep in mind, if you are working with a real estate agent, we can use MLS to see what actually has rented in an area. So, for instance, I can go to rentals here, and not everything that's in MLS is also in Zillow, and vice versa. So, like, it's good to have both. Ideally, that's what you want. Something that's sold last 6 months, and we can quickly see. Oops. And I can draw on this area really quick. Okay, but I'm just going to click on stuff. So we see one in 1950, 1800, 1895. Oh, that was a townhouse. 2,800 on that house. It's probably a big house. 2,100 right there. Yeah, so you get the gist. And when we're really truly analyzing a house, like I'm going to dig in deeper. I'm going to find like 3 really solid examples. The same with the sales comps. It's always going to be better in MLS, more accurate information. But I'll get out of that. And also in MLS too, I can see other things like sellers disclosures. So we can see that. We can send that to you. It's always really helpful to have. And we can also have access to a report called the RPR report, which depending on the area is usually pretty accurate. Sometimes it's way off, but it's usually pretty accurate. So this one, for instance, it's already given us that range at that 351, or at the median rather. But here's our range. As low as 323. That'd probably be if it's like in bad shape, like everything needs to be replaced. 380K. That's if it's like just really jam up, like really updated, super nice. And you see we're right smack in the middle of those two. And I think that's reflective of this house, because this house looks like it's in good shape, but also looks like it's a little dated. So I feel like that price point is good. They're right. They have it priced right. That's probably why it's already pending. And another thing that you can quickly see on this report, and again, this is a report that only agents have access to, is you can find the flood zone really quick. So I know that's not in the flood zone just by looking at that. I know the area. So moving on from there, the next thing you can do is you can pull up your tax records. So I will pop over here, and I'll put all these links in the description too, so that you can access this stuff. And this is specific to Duval, so depending on whatever county you're in, they're all going to have their own website, but you can just Google search it, and you can typically find it. So this is going to give us access to tax records. It gives us, it shows us what their appraiser put as a square footage. And this matches our square footage here, so we know we're good there. And you can really dig in and see each year's tax records if you want. You can see like school zones, you can see the assessments, all that good stuff. So we'll move on from there. The next thing, this is an extremely valuable tool. This is where you can pull up permits, again, specific to the county. All you do is type in the address again. You can usually just kind of start it, and it's going to find it for us pretty good. You did that valley in there. Okay, so we got permits pulled up. And usually you're going to click anything from like within the last 20 years you kind of want to check out. Excuse me. So first one, and you click overview. We see they replaced 6 windows. That's good. It's got new windows. Probably didn't need it, but we know we got it. Next one, this is 2020. They did some siding. There was probably some rotted siding that they replaced. So that's good. Some repairs have been done. 2019 was this next one. Some plumbing. Okay, water heater. So we know we got a new water heater in there. Or not new, but it's 4 years old. 2015. What we got here? Probably AC. Yep, HVAC. So we know our AC is 8 years old. So we're all good there. And then we got one. Now this is a big one. This is why we look at this stuff. We see there's an expired permit for the roof. So that tells me two things: either this roof is really old and needs to be replaced, or it's been replaced unpermitted, within the last 15, 20 years or so. So let's see what they say in the description here. We can see, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go. So they got new water heater. I don't know if they changed it again or if it's that one that's 4 years old. I don't know why you changed one that's 4 years old, but maybe they did. So new windows, HVAC. Okay, here we go. It says roof 2013. So that tells me they replaced the roof unpermitted in 2013. So what you want to do with a house like that, it's not in the world. Doesn't mean it's bad or anything like that. For whatever reason, 10 years ago, there was a lot of stuff being done unpermitted, like roofs and whatnot. I don't understand why anybody ever does that, but it happens a lot because permit really doesn't cost that much, and it doesn't give you issues when you try to sell it. But anyways, so what you can do here is you can send a roofer out to kind of analyze it just to make sure it was done properly for one, and two, make sure it's still got some life left. And the inspector should be able to, tell a good amount, but the best thing to do here would have a roofer check it too. And you'll probably need that for insurance anyways, because insurance is going to give you problems with this. But I have been able to sell some houses recently that had permanent roofs, and we were able to get insurance, no problem. But we did have to send a roofer out to certify it. So keep that in mind. So that's good. This was a great example. We got to see kind of a hiccup, here. But overall, looking at all this, looking at these pictures, and there's an aerial view of the roof too. So to me, I'm no expert or anything, but this looks like it's 2013 roof. It looks like it's a 10-year-old roof. And if it is, it should have at least 5 to 10 years left on it. So you should be good on this. And again, it's not super dated. Some stuff's been updated. So looks like a nice house. It's just in good shape. Until the cabinets and stuff are a little old, so you want to go in there and really kind of check, make sure there's no water damage and stuff like that. Just make sure it's all good. That's what the inspector's for. Okay, so moving on, you can also check for liens. Always just kind of pop this in. It's really quick. So how you find this, you go back to the tax records and you find this RE number, and you're going to copy and paste it in here. Hit search. No liens found. That's what you want. Done. So we know we're clear there. Moving on. This isn't a great tool. I've tried using this, and it's just not very good from my experience. But again, as an agent, if you're working with an agent, we can see this really quick based on this RPR report. Get right here, bam, I know we're good to go. But this FEMA map, from what I've found, some addresses it works really well, some it doesn't. I know this is flood zones right here, over here, but it's not labeling it as. So I don't know. Maybe not the best tool. So another thing you can look at too is you can make sure things are not on septic. If it's on city water, well water, septic tank, or city sewer. Here in Duval, we get JEA, so I can pop in here and search. We're just going to hit start date, next. And what this tells me is they offer service for electric, water, and sewer. So this tells me everything's on city, so we're clear here. If this said water only, that means there's a septic. If it has no option for water or sewer, it means you got a well and you got a septic. So keep those things in mind. But this is a really quick and easy way to check this. They should have it listed here, but some people don't. Some people try to sell houses like it is on city when it's really on septic. I've seen too many people try to pull that, so be aware of that. Another good tool, and this is the last one, is you can kind of see a mortgage calculator. I found this Google one to be pretty good and accurate, and you can plug in information here. So I just type in mortgage calculator in Google, and it pops up. And always make sure you click in the include taxes and fees. So let's say we're going 355 on this house, and you put your percentage down. We're just going to leave it at 20%, and it kind of defaults to what current interest rates are right around here. One thing I know we'd be needing increases is home insurance, so we just go ahead and brought that up to like 1,600 or so. That's probably pretty. I live in this area too, and that's about what it's at. So there you go. That's going to be your monthly mortgage payment. Obviously, that's not an exact number. That's just kind of a rough estimate, but it's usually pretty. It's usually pretty close. And once interest rates go back down, if they're like 5%, and that's your payment every month. So like interest rates can make a pretty big difference. But anyways, that's it. I feel like the tools you can use to the best you can to analyze properties on your own. Um, as always, an agent's going to do it. Well, at least a good agent should be able to do it better and quicker than you can, and have access to better tools. But that's it. I'm ready. Thank you.